Hello, everyone, and welcome to another week of Story Times here at Lee County Libraries with me, your hostess, Miss Corrie. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you enjoy our Story Times, please remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also on our YouTube channel, you can find videos for our Library of Things kits that we have that you can check out here at the library. Now this week we are doing, there's a poem for that, story time, because April is National Poetry Month. So again, here is one of our Library of Things backpacks, and this one is a children's career story time bag. Inside of it, you'll find different books and activities that you can do at home. So come to the library if you're interested in checking that out. Now, all of our story times, we focus on those 5 pre-literacy skills from every child ready to read at your library. They include reading, writing, talking, singing, and playing. And we're going to do those 5 today. We're going to start with our hello song. So we're going to start with waving, hi, hello, how are you? Then we're going to do hi, hello, and clap our hands. And then hi, hello, and stomp our feet. Here we go. Hi, hello, and how are you? How are you? How are you? Hi, hello, and how are you? How are you today? Excellent. Let's clap our hands with it. Hi, hello, and clap your hands. Clap your hands. Clap your hands. Hi, hello, and clap your hands. How are you today? Excellent. Now let's stomp. Hi, hello, and stomp your feet. Stomp your feet. Stomp your feet. Hi, hello, and stomp your feet. How are you today? Hello, I hope you all are doing well, and we need to say hello to someone else as well. Let's come down in a sitting position, and we'll see if Henry's ready to come out. Henry, come here, friend. Hello. Henry the Hedgehog comes every week to our story time with our letter of the day. Henry's thinking of a letter. I wonder what it could be. He's got clues in here for us. Let's look closely. All right, here's our first clue. What is that? That's right, it's a house or a home. Let's hear the beginning. House, home. What letter has the sound? Correct, it's our letter H. To do the letter H, show me your hand. You're going to put all but 2 fingers up so they're together. Don't put them apart. You're going to put them together, and then you're going to turn your hand sideways. So you're pointing with 2 fingers. Excellent. Let's see what our next clue is. Oh, Henry's wearing it. It's a hat. A hat. Hat starts with the letter H. Remember, 2 fingers point to the side. Then we've got a heart. A heart. And heart starts with the letter H. And lastly, our hand. Hand starts with the letter H. So we have a house, a hat, a heart, a hand. And did you know that Henry and Hedgehog also start with the letter H? Awesome. So, Henry, you brought us the letter H today, huh? Yes, you did. There's our uppercase H and our lowercase h. And we're going to practice drawing these together in the air. Say bye to Henry. Give him a big wave. Bye, bud. All right, to do our uppercase H, we're going to take our magic marker finger. We're going to put a boop. We're going to straight down. Then we're going to leave a little bit of a space, and we're going to do that same motion again. So a boop and a straight down. Then we're going to go to the belly, and we're going to connect them. Let's try it. Here we go. Boop, zoom, boop, zoom. Connect in the belly. Whoop. Excellent. To do our lowercase h, we just do 1 boop down, and we follow our line up, and about at the belly, we make this little hook and come straight down again. Let's try. Here we go. Boop, zoom. Excellent job. So there's our uppercase H and our lowercase h. And just keep practicing them every day. Now I'm going to erase those so I don't bump into them. Let's learn our word of the day. So today we are doing poems and poetry. So our word of the day is poem. Now in Spanish, to say poem, you would say el poema, el poema. So it looks very similar. Poema is how we pronounce it. Now in sign language, you're going to take your palm, you're going to put it over your chest, you're going to pull it together and then up in the air. So poema, poem, poema. Excellent. So as we do our story time today, let's practice that together. Now, our first poem or rhyme that we're going to do, poema, is Hickory Dickory Dock. Here we go. So we're going to do Hickory Dickory Dock. The mouse ran up the clock, so we're going to make it be running up our arm. The clock struck 1, so we clap 1 time. The mouse ran down. Hickory Dickory Dock. Here we go. Hickory Dickory Dock. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 1. The mouse ran down. Hickory Dickory Dock. Now let's do 2. So when we clap twice. Hickory Dickory Dock. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 2. The mouse ran down. Hickory Dickory Dock. Now let's do 3. Awesome. Oh, and I made a mistake. Can we redo that one? Because it doesn't ran down. He says boo. Let's do that because it sounds more fun. Hickory Dickory Dock. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 2. The mouse said boo. Hickory Dickory Dock. Excellent. Now it's 3, and the mouse is going to go wee. Here we go. Hickory Dickory Dock. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 3. 1, 2, 3. The mouse said, wee! Hickory Dickory Dock. Excellent. And our last one is 4. He's going to say, no more, no more. Here we go. Hickory Dickory Dock. The mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The mouse said, no more. Hickory Dickory Dock. Excellent job, everyone. I liked that song. Uh-oh, it's wiggle time. Here we go. Get our thumbs ready. My thumbs are starting to wiggle. My thumbs are starting to wiggle. My thumbs are starting to wiggle. And now so are my toes. My toes are starting to wiggle. My toes are starting to wiggle. My toes are starting to wiggle. And now so are my fingers. My fingers are starting to wiggle. My fingers are starting to wiggle. My fingers are starting to wiggle. And now so are my legs. My legs are starting to wiggle. My legs are starting to wiggle. My legs are starting to wiggle. And now so are my arms. My arms are starting to wiggle. My arms are starting to wiggle. My arms are starting to wiggle. And now so is my head. My head is starting to wiggle. My head is starting to wiggle. My head is starting to wiggle. And now so is my body. My body is starting to wiggle. My body is starting to wiggle. My body is starting to wiggle. I wish that it would stop. Excellent job. Stop in sign language. Wonderful. All right, friends, we have 2 little feet. 2 little feet go stamp, stamp, stamp. Can you do it? Awesome. 2 little hands, what are they going to do? They go clap, clap, clap. 1 little body stands up straight, nice and tall. Put your chin up. 1 little body turns around. And then 1 little body quietly sits down. Excellent. We're getting ourselves ready for our first story. So we're going to do dance your fingers up, dance your fingers down, dance your fingers to the sides, dance them all around, dance them on your shoulders, dance them on your head, dance them on your knees, and put them into bed. Awesome. So we got good listening ears, good looking eyes. We're ready for our first one. We're doing a book of poemas. Huh? Poemas. And this is called Firefly July, a year of very short poemas. It's written by Paul B. Janeczko, and it's illustrated by Melissa Sweet. So we are going to do these ones. Here we go. I have to get to the first page because we got a table of contents in here. Here we go. So Firefly July, we're talking about spring. Do you see the word spring in there? S-P-R-I-N-G. So daybreak reminds us the hills have arrived just in time to celebrate. That is a short little poema. It is written by Sid Corman. Let's look at another one. Ooh, this one has got a title. It's titled Spring. Rain beats down, roots stretch up, they'll meet in a flower. Ta-da! There they are. Rain is down, roots are down, and they're going to meet up in a flower. I like that. Another poema. Oh, and that one was written by Raymond Souster. So this one is by William Carlos Williams, The Red Wheelbarrow. So much depends upon a red wheelbarrow, glazed with rainwater beside the white chickens. Right there. And there is our poema. Next we have The Island. Wrinkled stone like an elephant's skin on which young birches are treading. So let's look at it. Does it look like an elephant? It does. That looks like an elephant's leg or ear. Maybe that's his back leg, and there's those birch trees. This one's written by Lillian Morrison. Next, we have one called In Passing by Gerald Jonas. Open-backed dumpy junk truck, stacked full of old floor fans. Unplugged, unsteady, undone, free whirling like kids' pinwheels. In the last fresh breeze, what a way to go. So, they aren't plugged in, but they're sure whirling. Here's another one called Water Lily. It's written by Ralph Fletcher. My petals unfold stamens of gold. I float serene while down below. These roots of mine are deeply stuck in the coolest, most delicious muck. So here's the flower. There's those stamens of gold, and there's the roots stuck in that mud. All right. Open-billed gulls fighting for fish heads creak like rusted gates. That is written by X.J. Kennedy. Makes me think of when I go to the beach. Ooh, this one's cool. This is called Window. I'm liking these images. I have different windows I'm seeing, like on a train, all these different places. Night from a railroad car window is a great, dark, soft thing, broken across with slashes of light by Carl Sandburg. So when you're going in a train, you have these different windows that show you different pictures. And that's our last one that we're going to read from Firefly July, a year of very short poemas. Remember, hand here, pull out, toss up, poemas. Excellent job, everyone. Now, there are more poemas in there, poemas in this book for each of the 4 seasons, but we were just going to do spring. All right, let's do a wiggle song. So let's come up, and this is called the Mulberry Bush. So for our first verse, it says, here we go round the mulberry bush. We're going to roll our hands like this. Here we go round the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush. Here we go round the mulberry bush, all on a story time morning. Now, did you see how I changed directions? You could do that too. Now we're going to do clapping of hands. This is the way we clap our hands, clap our hands, clap our hands. This is the way we clap our hands, all on a story time morning. Awesome. Let's stomp our feet. This is the way we stomp our feet, stomp our feet, stomp our feet. This is the way we stomp our feet, all on a story time morning. Did you see how I was going forward and backward and side? You can totally mix it up as you're stomping. Last one for our verse. This is the way we wiggle our bodies, wiggle our bodies, wiggle our bodies. This is the way we wiggle our bodies, all on a story time morning. Excellent job, everyone. I loved it. I've got some wiggles out now, so I'm ready to be a little bit bananas. How about you? Let's put feet apart, hands at sides, get yourself ready, and we say, bananas unite! Peel bananas, peel, peel bananas, peel bananas, peel, peel bananas, chop bananas, chop, chop bananas, chop bananas, chop, chop bananas, mash bananas, mash, mash bananas, mash bananas, mash, mash bananas, eat bananas, eat, eat bananas, eat bananas, eat, eat bananas. Good bananas! Excellent work. You guys are really bananas out there. All right, I wanted to show you a couple of other types of poems that you might not have seen. Poemas. These are called concrete poems. Concrete poems or concrete poemas are poems that make a shape, that connect to what you're writing. So this one, what does it look like? Yes, an octopus. And this one looks like an umbrella. So the poem, the poema, is the same shape. Now let's look at the octopus one. So we're going to do some motions with it. It says, all over the octopus, wiggle your arms like an octopus. Underneath the sea, move it like waves of the ocean. Swimming very slowly, looking for his tea. Look, 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 look. Makes a little bubble. Gives a little grin. And says, hi there, fishies. Come on in. He wants to eat all those fishies. Excellent. All right, so our next one, my umbrella. So we got our umbrella. My umbrella keeps me out of the sun. My umbrella keeps out the rain. My umbrella gives me shelter, except in a hurricane. Woo! Yes, in a hurricane, our umbrella would not protect us very well. So again, these are some examples of concrete poemas. All right, friends, can you jump, jump, jump? Show me. Jump, jump, jump. Can you hop, hop, hop? One foot. Here we go. Hop, hop, hop. Can you clap, clap, clap? Boom, boom, boom. Can you stomp, stomp, stomp? Stomp, stomp, stomp. Can you nod your head yes? Can you shake your head no? And can you sit down really slow? Excellent work. So let's get ourselves ready for our second book. And this is our open, shut them. Here we go. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Give a little clap, clap, clap. Open, shut them, open, shut them. Lay them in your lap, lap, lap. Awesome. We have our calm bodies, good looking eyes, good listening ears. And that tells me that we are ready for our next book of poemas. Poemas. This is called Yummy, Eating Through a Day, poems selected by Lee Bennett Hopkins And the illustrations are by Renée Flower. Eating through the day. So in a book of poems, usually you'll see our table of contents to tell you the title of the poem and where you can find it. But sometimes they don't have those. Let's do our first one. Morning Smells by Karen O'Donnell Taylor. Morning smells like bacon. It laces through the air, drifting round the kitchen, winding up the stair. It slips beneath my doorway, creeps up past my chin, wakes me oh so gently as I breathe the sweetness in. Cinnamon buns are baking, mingling with the smell of sharp, strong coffee and frying eggs as well. Sweet smells reach my room. No need for mom to knock. When morning smells delicious, I wake without a clock. Awesome. I like that. Makes me hungry though. All right, our next poem about eating throughout the day is called Oh Orange. It's written by Tom Robert Shields. Perfect morning roundness, color from the sun, pebbly sort of cover over pure white silky skin. Divided equal sections, seeds, liquid, pulp too. Oh, orange of tropic pleasure, I squeeze sweet juice from you. A glass of orange juice does sound delicious right now. All right, our next poema is Who Needs a Banquet? It's written by Sandra Olson. Liatzos says, Who needs a banquet fit for kings? Who needs a heap of jeweled rings? Who needs $1 million jet or a diamond collar for a pet? When bubbly pizza from the oven makes me grab my fork and knife, I need no more except a plate to lead a happy pizza life. Isn't that true? Now, what kind of toppings do you like on your pizza? Most of the time, I just do pepperoni, but I like sometimes do red onions and tomatoes and mushrooms and olives. You guys, you're making me so hungry today. All right, our next poema is called Gel O Cups. It's written by Rebecca K. Dotlich. Says, cups of Gel O, blue and yellow, wiggle, wiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Dancing squares squirm and shake, bright red shiver, quiver, quake. Rainbow cubes on plates in cups, lemon, lime, we slurp them up. Very cool. I love the illustrations in this too. All right, here's our next one. It's called Pasta Perfect by Rebecca Kai Dotich. Ravioli, macaroni, vermicelli in the pot. Tortellini, capellini, steamy, hot. Pasta in the shape of O's, pasta tied in ruffled bows, pasta buttered, boiled and tossed, pasta smothered in a sauce. Macaroni, ravioli, manicotti strikes my mood. Tortellini, thin linguine, pasta is the perfect food. All right. Mango by Madeline Camora, bathed in flames of sunset red and gold, it beams in the bowl. I cradle the ripe globe, peel away the skin, perfume rises, thick juice drips on my chin, the pulp, sticky sweet, cools the summer heat, down to the oval stone, slippery smooth, and white as the moon. Do you guys like mangoes? Yeah, it's pretty good. This is called How to Eat a Sandwich Cookie. Ooh, oh, so yummy. This is written by Beverly McLaughlin. Now, I don't know how you eat it, but I like to twist it apart and lick the creamy inside first. So, a rookie cookie eater eats a sandwich cookie fast. 1 bite, 2 bite, and of cookie. A pro makes a sandwich cookie last, knows the art of getting to the cookie's heart, slides the halves apart very, very slowly, bottom against top, stop, turns the top side over, yes, one round and creamy sugar moon. Of course, a pro always eats the blank side first, and then with a silly grin and a thank you very much, eats the half that holds the soft vanilla moon. All right, our last poema, is by Bruce Lansky, and it's titled Thanks. Thanks for the story, and thanks for the drink you brought all the way from the bathroom sink. Thanks for the back rub. I've just one more wish, a chocolate sundae with nuts in a dish. Now, at bedtime, I don't think that's going to happen, but you could definitely dream about it. So those were some different poemas that were in that book. Yummy. All right, friends, we're getting to the end of our story time. So let's do our zoom, 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 and then our goodbye song. Here we go. Up. And we go zoom, zoom, zoom. We're going to the moon. Zoom, zoom, zoom. We'll get there really soon. A 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1, and blast off. Awesome. Let's do it a little bit faster. We'll just do it one more time. Here we go. I'll speed things up a bit. Zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. Zoom, 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 we'll get there really soon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Woohoo! Awesome job, everyone. Well, we did our reading, we did writing, we did talking, we did singing, we did playing. And like I said before, please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel for all of our story times and other videos. Now let's do our goodbye, okay? So wave high, wave low. I think it's time. We've got to go. Wave your elbows, wave your toes, wave your tongue, and wave your nose. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wave your knees, choo, choo, choo. Wave your lips, woo, 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 woo. And blow a kiss from your fingertips. Wave your ears. Oh, goodness, there's that one. Here's this one. Wave your hair, wave your belly, and your dairy hair. Boop, boop, boop. Wave your chin, wave your eye. Now wave your hands and say goodbye. Bye, Storytime friends.